My name is Kromer. I'm an inventor and entrepreneur, meaning that I start businesses from scratch. I add it all up, the companies I've started earn millions of dollars each year in revenue and have grown from a couple friends at the start to creating more than 80 highly satisfying jobs. My latest company is Vigilante. It's a restaurant with more than 150 board games that you can play right at your table. I designed and worked to build these special tables that make playing board games super awesome. There's dice, there's a charger, there's card holders, and a whole bunch of other fun things are built into the table. Probably the most magical feature is that each table has a robot over it. And when you push the button at your seat, the robot waves its arms, and that tells the server to come over and take your order or bring you a fork or help you with the game just by pushing this button. I custom designed the mechanics of the robot and the tiny computers inside each robot and each table, along with the programs that let them talk to each other. We built Vigilante from a bare shell into a restaurant that serves hundreds of people each week. I went to Cornell University, and then I went to graduate school at UT here in Austin, Hook 'em Horns. It took a lot of work and time in those schools to learn all the skills I needed to help build Vigilante, and now I get to invent things that nobody's ever done before. If anybody asks me, do you think it's important to go to college? Here's the question I'd ask them back. How hard would you work over the next years if I made you an offer that when you graduate college, I'll put more than $1 million in a bank account and each year eventually pay it all out to you? Because you know what? That's how it already is in reality. College graduate typically earns about $25,000 more each year than a non-college graduate. And when you add that up over your whole career, it's actually a fair bit more than $1 million. So I think every one of you should go home tonight and tell your parents, guys, I'm going to college no matter what it takes, and I want your help to get there. There's one other thing that's just as important as college, and that's learning how to use computers, especially for making graphs and explaining information. Being excellent at any job requires constant learning about how to do that job better, and that means relentlessly gathering and explaining information about your performance. If you're a top football player, you work with teams of people to understand your statistics and the statistics of what your opponents do. A well-paid auto mechanic is just as much a computer technician as somebody with a wrench. Every single person at Vigilante, from the servers to the chef, uses computers to understand their jobs, to take customer orders and stuff like that. Vigilante's chef is constantly looking at our numbers of what kinds of foods sell, how much it costs to make each thing, what dishes people order, to reduce food costs, uses team's time better, understand which dishes are popular, which to replace. Most importantly, anybody who moves out of an entry-level job to a job leading a team is going to be expected to measure their team's performance and then explain mathematically how to improve the effectiveness of the team and manage costs. There's very few satisfying jobs that can be done well without being able to use computers skillfully.